Sometimes when we pray, we may think it's an awkward conversation or we're not sure what to say. Sometimes we don't understand who we're talking to. Other times we may feel as if our prayers just bounce off the ceiling or get lost in space on their way to God's mailbox. I think prayer can be a mysterious and unsettling act. Do we stand? Do we sit or kneel? Do we close our eyes or fold our hands? Or are we supposed to hold hands? Maybe we're supposed to sacrifice a small goat. What are we supposed to do to make our prayers effective? Jesus' disciples may have had some of these questions when they asked Jesus in Luke 11 to teach them to pray. The Lord's Prayer in Matthew 6 is settled in Jesus' teaching and warnings about trying to look righteous in front of other people. He says in verse 5, not to be like the people who pray for show. He states they are play acting, and it's all for selfish recognition. They're praying to look righteous. Jesus says that's their reward. But that's not what we want to do. Don't be like that. Don't pray for show. So how should we pray? It says, pray then like this, Our Father in heaven. Let's stop right there. This is an invocation summoning a deity into our awareness. But the invocation does not start with a grand title like Your Majesty or the Supreme Chancellor of the universe. It begins with Our Father. Now, Father was sometimes used as an honorary title for a noted person, but it was also a common name a child would call their daddy. This is an intimate name in this invocation. There's a personal relationship here. 1 John 3 verse 1 says, see what kind of love the Father has given us, that we should be called the children of God. And so we are. The reason why the world does not know us is that it did not know Him. So wait, aren't we all children of God? Well, no. James chapter 2, verse 19 states, you believe that God is one, you do well. Even the demons believe, and they shudder. Let me put it this way. I know who the president is, but I'm not going to walk into the Oval Office uninvited. There's a relationship difference between knowing who the president is and being his child. James chapter 2 states that even the demons know there is a God, and they are terrified of Him. When it comes to praying, the relationship makes a difference. Now, my family is celebrating my daughter's birthday in a few days. Let's say I go home, and my daughter meets me in the driveway and tells me she would like a bike for her birthday. She shows me a picture and tells me where I can get this bike for her. As her dad, I want to get her this bike or something better. Now let's say a week later, the little girl from down the street catches me in the driveway when I get home. She informs me that her birthday is coming up and she saw the bike that I got my daughter. She thought it was an awesome bike and she would like me to get her a bike for her birthday. Now, I have the means to get her a bike, but my thought is, shouldn't you be asking your dad for a bike? You see, the relationship here matters. So how do we become part of God's family? I got my last name by being born into my family. I have friends who were adopted into their family. The Bible shows us how to be brought into God's family. John 14 verse 6 says, Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Jesus said He is the way to God. John 1, 12 and 13. But to all who did receive Him, being Jesus, who believe in His name, He gave the right to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor the will of the flesh, nor the will of a man, but of God. This outlines what it takes to be brought into God's spiritual family. the Lord's Prayer is a model of how we should pray. It begins with an invocation expressing who we are addressing, God in heaven, as a personal God who we need to have a relationship with. I believe that our prayers will be more effective if we not only know who we're praying to, but also have a personal relationship with that person.